Welcome to the 7 Days Report. I'm your host, Vasilios Nikolaos Vitsalogiannis. We are here every weekend at 12 and 21 to bring you the latest headlines, in-depth analysis, and insightful commentary on the stories that matter most. Whether you're tuning in for a recap of the week or looking for a deeper understanding of global events, we've got you covered. Let's start with our first news. Guinea-Bissau military rulers have announced a ban on all protests as a high-level ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, delegation prepares to visit the country. The decision, announced by the military government, aims to maintain order during the regional diplomatic mission, which is scheduled to arrive amid ongoing political tensions. The ECOWAS delegation's visit is part of an effort to facilitate a return to civilian rule after the recent military coup that ousted the government. The military rulers who took power in a coup have faced international pressure to restore democratic governance. The protest ban, officially justified as necessary for security reasons, has drawn criticism from opposition groups and civil society organizations who argue it infringes on citizens' rights to peaceful assembly. Residents express concern that the restriction may limit their ability to voice opinions about the political crisis. Nevertheless, authorities insist that the measure is temporary and intended to prevent violence or disruptions during the ECOWAS visit. ECOWAS has previously imposed sanctions on Guinea-Bissau, including travel bans and asset freezes, aiming to persuade the military to delegate power to civilian authorities. The upcoming visit is seen as a critical step in diplomatic efforts to restore stability. As tensions remain high, the international community continues to monitor Guinea-Bissau's political landscape. The military government's decision to restrict protests highlights ongoing concerns about human rights and democratic backsliding in the West African nation. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has issued a strong statement as U.S. President Donald Trump's envoy arrives in Moscow for high-stakes talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The envoy's visit marks a rare diplomatic engagement amid ongoing tensions surrounding the conflict in Ukraine. Zelensky expressed cautious optimism but underscored that Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity remain non-negotiable. Any talks must respect Ukraine's independence and the will of its people. We are watching closely to ensure that diplomacy does not undermine our security or international law, Zelensky said. The Trump envoy landed in Moscow amid mixed reactions from the global community. Supporters see this as an opportunity to revive dialogue and potentially reduce the conflict's human toll. Critics worry about bypassing established diplomatic channels and question the envoy's approach and intentions. This visit comes as Western nations continue to back Ukraine with military and humanitarian aid, while Moscow insists on its security concerns and demands guarantees about NATO's expansion. The talks aim to explore possible ceasefire arrangements and broader conflict resolution mechanisms. However, experts caution that deep-rooted mistrust and unresolved issues make breakthroughs difficult. Zelensky reiterated Ukraine's commitment to a peaceful resolution but warned against any concessions that could jeopardize its hard-fought gains. Peace must be just and durable. We cannot sacrifice our future under the pressure of expedient deals, he said. As the envoy's discussions continue, Kyiv is preparing for all scenarios, balancing hopes for dialogue with readiness to defend its sovereignty on the front lines. The international community remains watchful as diplomacy attempts to navigate this complex geopolitical crisis. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his coalition boycotted a crucial Knesset vote that was set to endorse U.S. President Donald Trump's controversial plan for Gaza. The move shocked many observers, marking a rare instance of Netanyahu's government distancing itself from an American peace initiative traditionally seen as aligned with Israel's interests. The Trump administration's plan, unveiled to much fanfare, proposed a framework aimed at reshaping Gaza's political and security landscape. However, Netanyahu's coalition expressed deep reservations, citing concerns over the plan's implications for Israeli security and sovereignty. By boycotting the vote, Netanyahu signaled significant unease within his government ranks about endorsing the U.S.-led vision without further guarantees. Opposition parties seized the moment to criticize Netanyahu's stance, accusing him of jeopardizing a rare opportunity for regional stability. Some lawmakers from Netanyahu's own right-wing bloc voiced frustration, calling for a more transparent debate on the plan's merits. Meanwhile, pro-government voices defended the boycott, emphasizing the need for a cautious approach amidst complex on-the-ground realities in Gaza. This development adds a new layer of complexity to the already tense relations between the Israeli government and the United States. It also highlights ongoing divisions within Israeli politics about the best path forward on Gaza and how to handle long-standing conflicts tied to the enclave. As diplomatic efforts continue, all eyes will be on how Netanyahu balances domestic political pressures with international expectations, especially from Washington. The boycott underscores the fragile dynamics shaping Middle East peace prospects in an increasingly polarized environment. Recent diplomatic maneuvers by the Trump administration have raised concerns in key U.S. allies, Japan and South Korea, who are closely monitoring the implications of what some describe as transactional diplomacy. This approach, characterized by deal-focused interactions prioritizing immediate national interests, has sparked unease amid escalating regional security challenges. Japan and South Korea have long relied on steady U.S. support to counterbalance China's growing assertiveness and North Korea's nuclear threats. However, Washington's recent policies on Ukraine and China suggest a more transactional stance, emphasizing strategic bargaining over traditional alliance commitments. For instance, the administration's cautious approach to backing Ukraine and ambiguous signals regarding China's growing influence have led Tokyo and Seoul to question the consistency of U.S. security guarantees. The concern is that transactional diplomacy may strain the trust essential for deep cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region. Analysts warn that any perception of the U.S. prioritizing immediate gains over long-term alliance stability could encourage adversaries and destabilize the region's security architecture. Both Japan and South Korea are likely reassessing their diplomatic and defense strategies in response, exploring ways to diversify their security partnerships beyond the U.S. The Biden administration, when it returns to office, may face the challenge of rebuilding confidence and reassuring these allies of America's enduring commitment. As tensions rise with China and North Korea remains unpredictable, the strategic signal sent by Washington's diplomacy will be crucial. Japan and South Korea's response will help shape the future of U.S. influence and regional stability in East Asia. A Navy admiral leading U.S. military strikes on a suspected drug trafficking vessel in the Caribbean testified before lawmakers, denying any kill-them-all directive from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The admiral emphasized that the operation targeted a specific threat and was carried out under strict rules of engagement. However, a stark and unsettling video of the attack has surfaced, raising serious concerns as Congress intensifies scrutiny of the U.S. campaign. The footage appears to show the unfolding of the strike in graphic detail and has sparked debate over the conduct and oversight of these military actions. The operation resulted in the deaths of 2 survivors, further fueling questions about the proportionality and necessity of the force used. Lawmakers challenged the admiral on whether the identification of the vessel as a drug boat was sufficiently verified before launching lethal force. Defense officials maintain that the strikes are part of a broader effort to disrupt the flow of narcotics in the region and protect national security. Still, the emerging evidence and testimonies have prompted calls for a thorough investigation into the mission's planning and execution. As Congress continues to probe the circumstances surrounding the attack, the military defends the strike's legality and necessity. The tension highlights the delicate balance between combating illicit trafficking and safeguarding human rights during overseas operations. That was the 7 Days Report Show. I'm your host, Vasilios Nikolaos Vitsalogiannis. Before signing off, I would like to thank you for listening to our news. Until next time, stay informed and be safe. Goodbye.